Well, after a long month of having Big Betty on Facebook Marketplace, I think we have a real buyer this morning. He drove like 2.5 hours, I think, from Georgia. I've had so many low balls, so many crazy trade offers, so many people saying they got money and then don't show up to meet, all the typical Facebook stuff. But we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna show you all some of the trade offers, the good, the bad, the ugly, as well as talk about why we're doing it. Why are we selling Big Betty? I'm gonna hit y'all with one last cold start of the old clap wagon. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a little bit sad driving Big Betty for possibly the last time. I have really enjoyed this thing, but probably most people don't care that I'm selling it because Big Betty is a really cool part of the channel, but also most people don't like SUVs for whatever reason. I myself didn't before I got this. Not that I didn't like them, I just didn't care about them at all. But I have really grown to love this thing. I've put 10,200 miles on this thing, which is a lot for not being braggadocious, but having multiple vehicles. Put 10,000 miles on one in the span that I've owned this. I've been driving Big Betty, so yeah, me and Lauren had a ton of fun filming with this thing. We did a lot of cool content, I feel. There's a second gen Raptor for sale. Anyways, first time doing a drop bracket lift kit install. First time working with Rough Country. They sent us out the lift and their coilovers. First time doing powder coat. First time doing 37s. We worked with some wheel and tire companies. Betty was just really cool. And like I said, I've grown to really like it. It's so convenient. There's so much room. I've just driven the crap out of it and really enjoyed it. And the inside of this truck is literally perfect for me. Even with the new F-150 having the gigantic screen, I could drive this interior for the rest of my life and be perfectly happy. The seats are comfy. They're nice leather. Everything is laid out good. Everything feels good to the touch. I got to get a GMT 900 LTZ Silverado for sure, or Denali. Nah, I want an LTZ. I like a Silverado better. At some point for sure with this interior, because I really enjoyed it. But man, Betty has been so solid. We did the water pump on it, and you know, the transmission from the beginnings had the issue with slipping if you romp on it, which was a very difficult thing to explain to people in the description, because yes, I wasn't going to be dishonest and lie to people and act like it was perfectly mechanically sound and then somebody gets screwed with it, which I say get screwed with it. I've been driving it for 10,000 miles with it doing the exact same thing. If I were to floor it right now, it's going to slip the gear and then it's going to go back to driving exactly normal. But you might not have a million times of doing that. I might do it one more time and the transmission could just find all the neutrals. So you never know. But for normal daily driving, it is flawless. It has been great. I have driven it, no issues whatsoever. So I put that in the description, and a lot of people just, like, I explained it really well, I feel like, in the description, but people were just so many questions and stuff. And to the guy that sent me a message saying that he sells things for a living and that I should take that part out of the description because it doesn't do it all the time, and I should not let the person that's buying the truck test drive it, because I should tell them that I only have one truck and that I don't want him to tear it up, and he thinks that I just shouldn't tell him. You need to go check yourself, brother. That I couldn't sleep at night doing that. Like that, I mean, I don't know. That's just, you're screwing people at that point. If you do this for a living and that's the way that you go about it, that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. That rubbed me the wrong way for sure. Because let's be honest, if you go test drive something, you go about it two ways, right? Sometimes you get in there and you beat the tar out of it because you're like, I want to make sure this thing's solid before I buy it. Or two, you've already got somewhat of attachment, you're excited for it, and you just cruise around in it because you're like, man, I'm buying it. This thing's gorgeous, I'm excited, I'm buying it. And if you're like that, and you didn't romp on this thing, you wouldn't know. And then you go out and you accidentally get in an intersection and you got to accelerate really hard in front of somebody because you didn't time it correctly, and this thing slips and you get T-boned. Yeah, so I was very descriptive with the issue that it had, and I'll sleep fine at night knowing that I did. But I ain't gonna lie, I slept in on accident today, and the guy was driving 3 hours, and he messaged me 10 minutes prior saying he was 30 minutes out, and I was laying in the bed. So yeah, but essentially I'm selling Big Betty just because I don't film with it. We haven't filmed with it. I've been daily driving it. I've gotten comfortable with it, and I have to sell stuff. If I'm not filming with it, if it's not making money, I have to sell it. I can't just let it collect, unfortunately. But this is going to be a good parts fund money for the new F-150, because I want to do a Whipple. Y'all been wanting for years for me to have something boosted, and so the Whipple just makes sense. But it's like $13,000 more expensive than most of my trucks that I've purchased, and so yeah, Betty should help fund that by a ton. So yeah, it's been a long time on Facebook. So with that said, we'll see if the guy picks up Big Betty. All right, guys. Well, I'm a little bit sad, but Big Betty is gone. Got the new owner right here. Got anything you want to say?
Oh, she's beautiful.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna miss it. I'm definitely gonna miss it. It's been a good truck to me. I hope it's good for you. But I definitely appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Pretty cat eye back there too. That thing looks good. It's a pretty truck. Oh, Big Betty. A little bit sad, not gonna lie. I'm glad it went to a good home. I think he's gonna enjoy it. Not me walking around in the gas station with my trailer hitch. Guy at the register is probably thinking I'm about to rob this place. There she goes, boys. Gas station guys heckling me. That's funny.